Jake Paul lost to Anthony Joshua by knockout, and honestly, I have to give my props to Jake Paul. He finally fought someone who was young, active, and a pretty good professional fighter of Anthony Joshua. But this fight gave me a lot of roller coasters of emotions. I was shocked but still questioning myself of this fight's legitimacy. Because even though I had confidence that Anthony Joshua was gonna beat Jake Paul when the bell rang, my confidence went down slowly but slowly. If you saw the fight, the first couple of rounds, I would say more specifically the first 4 rounds, Jake Paul was winning and outscoring Anthony Joshua. Jake Paul was coming in, hitting him with some shots, and coming back. Coming in and coming out. And it seems like when the fight was progressing, that was going to be Jake Paul's secret formula plan, which was to just outscore Anthony Joshua and win by unanimous decision. And this is where I question myself and question this fight's legitimacy, whether or not this fight's real or not, because there's just no way that Jake Paul's hitting Joshua and landing, but at the same time, Anthony Joshua, he can't even get a hold of Jake Paul. He could even land a single punch on him. When this fight was happening, I was legitimately telling myself that this fight's rigged, because just like Joshua just doesn't know what to do with Jake, and Jake's just moving around like Muhammad Ali, touching, going back, and then Joshua, he's just all over the place. I was just in shock. There was just like no way and freak that Anthony Joshua was gonna lose. I thought to myself that Anthony Joshua, he's gonna intentionally lose to Jake Paul. There's just no way. What really fueled my theory that this fight is rigged was the obvious fact that in this fight, Jake Paul was legit going down on his knees anytime Anthony Joshua got close to Jake Paul and was closing the distance. He would literally go down on his knees, and sometimes it straight up looked like Jake Paul was going for like a double leg wrestling move, like it's MMA. And at this point, I'm still convinced that this fight was rigged, despite Jake Paul losing. Because if you really think about it, for the first 4 to 5 rounds, Jake Paul was winning. He was outscoring him, he was touching him up, he was landing shots, and there was times where Joshua was clearly frustrated and couldn't land a single punch. He couldn't even catch the guy. And weirdly enough, Jake Paul did the most trips and falls and double leg takedowns on round number 5. And on that round specifically, this just trips me out. But on round 5, he like trips or like he sprains his ankle or something, and shortly after that he falls and takes a knee, and the ref scores it as a knockdown. And I thought to myself, that was kind of weird. This whole fight in general was weird. The whole MMA bout that he was doing, the double legs, the single legs, him spraining his ankle. But after all that went away and round 6 began, Anthony Joshua finally finds the secret formula to beating Jake Paul. All my worries do go away, but my theory of this fight being rigged, it still remains. Like, this fight was too good to be true. More specifically, like the whole beginning to the middle to the end, it almost felt like a movie, like a script. You think to yourself, no way this little guy, YouTuber's Disney Channel, LGBTQ man, blondie boy right here is gonna beat this Goliath Greek goddess action figure, Anthony Joshua. I mean, that's what I thought. I genuinely thought Jake Paul had no chance against Anthony Joshua. But there were so much climaxes and rising actions and all this crazy stuff, it almost seemed like a script. Jake Paul at one point was winning the fight, outscoring him, outlanding him, and Joshua couldn't touch him. Even the commentators noticed that Joshua was clearly frustrated, and I noticed it. I was like, wait, why is Anthony Joshua like almost like pouting and complaining that he can't get a hold of this guy? And I was like, no way he's going to lose this fight. Like, this fight's rigged. Like, there's no way Joshua's going to lose to this guy, Rocky Balboa. Like, there's just no way he's going to lose to this guy who has basically no experience compared to you, a medalist, a champion. There's just no way that Anthony Joshua's gonna lose this. If I were to think to myself as Jake Paul's ghostwriter, if I was a director for a movie, that sounds like a pretty good movie. If you really think about it, the Rocky Balboa, like Russian experiment, the David versus Goliath stuff, it sells, it's profitable. But if you were to put that in real life, like in a boxing match, it's a lot more believable, right? Jake gets knocked out and it's like, you're crazy. You really think Jake Paul's gonna intentionally knock himself out? and break his jaw right after? Come on, this fight wasn't fake. Like, you're crazy. Am I really crazy to think that way? This fight was a movie script written all over, and you're willing to tell me that this fight was real. Listen, I hope Jake Paul gets a speedy recovery from his jaw, but this fight's just almost too good to be true. Us seeing Jake Paul get knocked out, him losing, but also the beginning and the middle of the fight, like, what was he doing? The double leg takedowns, the single leg takedowns, him falling every time Joshua got to the clinch, Jake Paul spraining his ankle in the middle of the fight, that being counted as a knockdown, him getting tired from all the movement he was doing running away from Joshua knocking him out in the 6th round. That sets him up with the fight with Tyson Fury. Jake Paul posts minutes after that his jaw was broken, and it's hard to fake it. This fight was scripted. This fight was rigged. There's just no way. This fight was too entertaining. This fight was too good. Whenever I saw 6ix9ine walking out with Jake Paul, I was like, oh my god, low-key, I wanna support Jake Paul because I want to see more walkouts like this. Like, I was thinking I was a blood for a second. I was thinking I was in a gang whenever I saw 6ix9ine walking out with Jake Paul. Like, I was like, 6ix9ine this and 6ix9ine that. Oh my, yeah, you can hit my jack. Like, I was going crazy, not gonna lie. This fight was a roller coaster. This fight was too good to the point where I still think that this fight was rigged somehow, some way. It was fixed, it was scripted, because I was just up and down on my chair like, no way, Josh was losing. Wait, Josh was not losing. Wait, why is Jake Paul doing a double leg? Wait, he sprained his ankle? Oh my god, Joshua knocked him out? Oh my god, Jake Paul's jaw's broken? Like, my heart was going up and down, heart beating. I was going crazy. I was doing the spaghetti. This fight had to be rigged somehow, some way. But if it isn't, shout out to you, Jake Paul. Shout out to you, Anthony Joshua, for this great event, because no one should question Jake Paul's legitimacy as a boxer. But I'm still going to question the events, because, I don't know, these fights are just getting too good. They're getting too cinematic. Jake Paul gave us what we wanted. He fought an actual boxer, young, in his prime, active, dangerous, talented, and disciplined. Jake Paul, I appreciate you. My name's Zaheen Zamali, and I'm out. Peace.